that camera. Alright, roll it on second cam.
Perfect. It's on you, Ray.
All right, let's get it.
Yes,
Alright, on you, Ray.
Right. Tell us who you are.
Am I gonna look at the camera or you?
So you can do either or.
Either?
Transition to both.
All right.
Really better for you.
I'm gonna look at you. It's more comfortable,
Yeah, you know,
more human.
Exactly. Tell us
All
who you
right.
are.
So I'm Ray. A lot of people know me as Ray Bambino, but lately people have been calling me Kreto.
What do you do?
So I'm a business owner, I'm a creative, and the main creative force behind the brand Kreto.
Absolutely. And what is your main and most current pastime at the moment?
At the moment, right now, I've been woodworking. So I've been making stuff out of wood, mainly like going to Home Depot, building tables, stuff like that.
Right. Now, you said most people do call you, the brand you do currently own, the brand you
Yeah.
run. What does Kreto represent? What is Kreto?
So Kreto is really just like, at the moment to me, it's more of a state of mind, you know? Doing something different, doing whether it be music, photography, videography, design, culture, community, this umbrella of multitude of things all put into one, basically.
Now, how you approach Kreto, professionally and what you do in your pastime,
Mm.
is there at all any distinctive difference between the two, or do you approach both the same way?
So there's really no distinct difference, and I think that's by design. You know, in life, you work a 9 to 5, but your real passions, your real hobbies are somewhere else. To whereas I'm trying to do everything parallel to where my real life is my business life, and they're literally just one and the same thing. They're going towards the same direction.
And in the inception of Kreto and what it comes from, is this something you always carry with you? Is it something you discovered along the way? And how has this came about for you?
So I think it's something that has kind of like always been with me, but it didn't come out until I lived my life. And honestly, it came through a lot of struggle, a lot of pain, a lot of just trying to figure myself out. And, we all went through some hard times, especially ever since COVID hit, and mental health, things like that, family stuff, whatever you got going on. I'm always a positive person, and if you see me out in the street, I'm always smiling, like just trying to like have a good time. So I never want to affect anybody negatively. It's always trying to be like a positive. So every negative thing I went through in my life, I kind of want to turn into a positive, whether it be this cool looking shirt, a cool planter made out of concrete, something like that.
And, in the middle of that, whether it's the gray area, whether it's in your home, whether it is through Kreto,
Yeah.
what currently fulfills you?
Right now, I think it's solving problems, and the art of solving the problem. In our daily lives, we all go through issues, and, whether it be like, oh, I want to make a cool shirt, that's a great idea, but how am I going to do it, and how am I going to differentiate myself from everybody else? And I was watching this interview with Steve Jobs earlier, where he was talking about people have this disease that a great idea is 90% of the work, which in reality, it's not. That's probably like the first 5%. You have this great idea, and it takes, work, fucking up, throwing shit on the wall, seeing what sticks. And seeing what sticks has been very fulfilling for me.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. There's another similar quote that I heard was, maybe like Thomas Edison, some type of scientist. They talked about he went 3,000 times to find the solution to something.
Right.
They were like, so how did it feel to fail 3,000 times? He said, I didn't fail 3,000 times. I found 3,000 ways that didn't work.
Right.
Right. So in that, is it kind of like a fulfilling thing when you fail, quote unquote fail, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm
Yeah.
taking a step closer to to my actual goal.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling. Honestly, at this point, I got addicted to falling down, to failing. It's kind of like skating, one of my other passions. You know, it's very fulfilling when you land a trick, but you know, nobody sees you fucking up, nobody sees you falling down. The 100 times you have to get back up, dust yourself off, up until you land that trick. And it's just figuring out the best way, you know. Everybody does a kickflip different, you know. Some people can be very technical with it, and then other people have this like dope swag to it when they do a kickflip, like looks effortless. And I'm just trying to do something that feels me, feels effortless.
And as well, you're a problem solver.
Yeah.
Is there any, specific problems you hope to solve in the future? Anything you hope to focus on that is a part of Kreto, a part of you?
Yeah. So one problem that I've been talking with a lot of people, with you, Phil, CJ, Soul, everyone in this room, is that we go to these different cities, New York, LA, whatever it be, and we see different culture, different people doing just different things, dope things, and why don't we have that here? And that's one of the problems that I want to fix. I want, because we all know there's culture here, creative people, art, whatever it may be. We just have to build better opportunities and show the world that we are here, that we've been here. You know, that's one of the main problems I want to solve.
Within, what you're going toward, within what you're currently doing, I can ask this question two different ways because essentially your pastime and what you do professionally is the same thing. Where do you hope to see Kreto in the future?
In the future, right now, I want there to be a store in Phoenix where everybody could come through. Just hearing Soul's story about like him going to Fairfax, going to Melrose, soaking up all this knowledge, all this game. I want people to have that same feeling when they visit Phoenix. I want, because all my friends, we love Japanese style, Japanese trends, or somewhere out in a different country. I kind of want to flip it to I want them to look at Phoenix culture, like that's so hard. I want to dress how they dress. I want to listen to the same music they listen to. I want to have that same experience. So I want Kreto to kind of be that umbrella of Phoenix culture and everything under it.
It's kind of like, the way I look at it, it's kind of like islands.
Yeah.
There's a Self Island, there's a Kreto Island, but then there's connections. So just talk about the importance of having those connections, like those different islands and those different umbrellas
Right.
to create that vision of Phoenix.
Yeah. Connection is so important. I mean, that's one of the main ways I was successful with my brand is I realized that it's not just me anymore. Like I built these relationships and had these connections with people that view things differently from me. And if I keep telling the same story over and over again, it's gonna get stale, it's gonna get repetitive, it's gonna get very boring. Where I make these connections with people that lived a different life in Phoenix, but have like just this own style to them, own swag, and those connections make my brand better. They don't deter from it, they don't make it worse, it adds to it, it adds to the pot. And like when you go to New York and you see all these different cultures, it's a melting pot. Different music is playing in different households, different people dress very differently, and those connections are what makes everything so special.
I think, personally knowing you, me personally wearing the product, that tells me you got to see at least one person. You know it's more, but you got to see at least one person
Yeah.
put your clothes on and wear it the way they wear it, slightly different.
Mm.
What has that done for you personally, or even creatively, and where you hope to take it in the future?
Right. It just makes me smile whenever I see you wear like one of my pieces of clothing. I was at a pop-up shop the other day for another homie that does another brand, and I was just in there kicking it, doing my thing, having a good time. And this kid walks in wearing one of my shirts, and he doesn't know me at all. And he just looks at me and he goes, "Hey, where you get this from?" And I was like, but it just makes me very happy, makes me feel very fulfilled that someone that doesn't know who I am, what I'm about, but through my brand can resonate and feel kind of like connected with me in a way. So that's been very good. And seeing people like that out in the wild, because I'm an only child, I used to feel very like alone. And growing up, I was always like the weird kid, into weird shit. I was into Pharrell and skateboarding and stuff like that when it wasn't cool, when it was kind of like you're the weird kid if you didn't play basketball, got into sports, listen to like gangster rap like 24/7, where I did those things, but I also did other things and I kind of put them together. And I was talking to a lot of my friends and making this analogy, like we were kind of like the X-Men growing up as kids. We're always weirdos, mutants, until we found each other. We all have different powers. You guys have different superpowers, but we all come together for like the greater good. And yeah, that's been very dope, very fulfilling.
I would say, in our opinion, my personal opinion, Kreto kind of feels itself and you yourself like a superhero in itself. And the metropolis of it all is the universe, the whole world.
Right.
So, coming from where we come from, I've never seen somebody emphasize Phoenix the way you do, so I want to give you flowers for that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And like we shared before, you know, Passing Time is a time capsule in its essence.
Right.
Is there any last words you have, you know, for your future self, for anyone watching, or for Kreto?
For my future self, I just want to tell myself, keep fucking up, keep throwing shit at the wall, and keep failing, you know? It's not really a true failure until you give it up. And that goes for kids trying to do this shit too. Like if you're trying to build a brand, be a DJ, cook some food, whatever may have you, like just do it. Don't live your life like it's a practice life. This is your real life. What you do is important. And if you're waiting for everything to be right to start, you're gonna be waiting forever. Just do it.
That's real, man. We want to thank you for sitting down with us. It's really been a pleasure, brother.
Man, I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. I was very excited to do this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you, brother.
Let's get it.